What is going on, my friends? Welcome back to the Locks DFS NBA breakdown video for this December 16th NBA slate. We have a 7-game slate on top tonight, I believe, for NBA. No, sorry, it isn't. Yeah, 7-game slate, and we're going to be breaking it all down right here. I am Christian Hardy. I am from locksdfs.com, and, where we provide our lock sheets, which include our stud rankings, value rankings, our player grades, our locks, including giving tiers on every single NBA player. Well, not every player we're considering on these NBA slates, as well as, having our private chat and all that sort of thing. So check us out, locksdfs.com, if you guys want to cop a pass. We do NBA, NFL, and we'll be wrapping up the college football season here soon with bowl season that starts this weekend. So hopefully I'll be able to do a few videos for that as well. If you guys subscribe, you'll see it on here. Want to remind you guys, of course, per usual, to subscribe, like this video, and then comment with your favorite play of the day. And you will be entered to win a free season pass from locksdfs.com. That is the giveaway we do every single Thursday night football video, so be sure to check, which I guess this week will actually be a Saturday breakdown. So that'll probably be out on Friday, actually. There's no Thursday night football anymore. We'll probably be putting that video out on Friday night or Thursday night. So, if you do comment and you do want to enter that giveaway, be sure to check out that video breaking down that 3-game slate that we'll be putting out this weekend. Me and Addy will do. So, with that said, also remind you guys that we are sponsored by PrizePicks. I'll be talking about a few of the overs and unders in this video. But before, I get into the DraftKings slate, I'll mention the guys I like on PrizePicks. But remind you guys, all you have to do to, get involved on PrizePicks, it's a very good site. There's lots of, beneficial player props, I think, that you can definitely be on this site, especially with their flex options where you only have to get 1 out of 2 right or 2 out of 3 right, where you can still make money that way. I've enjoyed playing on PrizePicks recently, so check them out here. All you have to do is use code LOCKS when you deposit or when you create an account, and you will be given a free pick 2 for $25, as well as a free 25% deposit bonus. So if you deposit $100, you'll get $25 instantly that you can play directly on the site, which is a really, really good deal. So check that out. If you guys have already used code LOCKS on the site, you haven't played in over a month, you can also deposit and let them know that you've used code LOCKS in the past, and you will also get that same deal, 25% bonus, $25 pick 2 match, or 25% match straight into your account, as well as a $25 free pick 2. 2 guys I like tonight. I like, but the main one I like the most is this number on Bam Adebayo at 42. I definitely think I would be taking the over on that. It's a pace-up spot against Memphis. We'll talk more about Bam, but pace-up spot against Memphis, and Bam has just been playing so many minutes recently that it's really easy for him to reach a ceiling and to also have a really nice floor. He's interesting in DFS, of course, but I really like the number here on PrizePicks, where I think he can beat that 42 number. I don't think it's awesome, but I think it's probably one of my favorites on the day. I also like this number on CJ McCollum at 33. Again, a game that I expect there to be a lot of points in. I believe it's the 3rd highest over-under of the day, but it's also the most competitive over-under of the day out of those 3. So those are the 2 overs I take. And if you're looking for an under, my favorite under would probably have to be, I don't mind the under on Bradley Beal, which is a little bit high to me in a pace-down matchup against Detroit. Of course, it's tough to take these unders. I much prefer taking overs on this site, but Beal is definitely projected a little bit too high here on FanDuel. And then I also do not mind the under on Tim Hardaway Jr. But again, this is a situation where Hardaway could end up getting a lot more usage with Doncic out, so it's tough to kind of take the under on that. But in terms of projections, even if you're giving him a bunch of minutes with Doncic off the floor, he doesn't really see a giant increase. And we're going to talk more about the Mavs here in a second for DraftKings. So those are some of my leans on PrizePicks tonight. I hope you guys do well over there. Let's go ahead and dig into the DraftKings slate, where there's a lot of injury news per usual on these NBA slates that we are waiting on. But we do know as of now that a few guys are going to be out, Luka Doncic being the most notable of those guys. We're still waiting on some pretty significant injury news for the Pistons that'll probably come closer to lock. Andre Drummond is questionable. He's got that eye thing going on with the avocado. I don't know if it's avocado at this point. It seems like it's been going on for a while. He played in a game, and then he sat out a game. And then you have Blake Griffin, who has been dealing still with that sore knee. So, both those guys definitely could sit out this game. we'll know before lock, which is great. And then, that'll open up minutes for the front court if they're out. Devin Booker, Isaiah Thomas, Jay Crowder are all injuries that will also shake up the slate just a little bit and are all listed as questionable right now. Devin Booker being the one that's most significant. However, the prices on the Suns are actually priced as if Booker is out because he was out on Saturday. Saturday. So, yeah. Detroit is the most crucial situation, and, of course, if Griffin or Drummond are out, Thon Maker, Christian Wood, Markieff Morris, those guys, depending on who is out there, will become very, very good plays. Thon Maker, it's kind of brutal that they've been starting him because he's not a very significant point per minute producer, and, at 3K, if he starts, you're going to be interested, but he's just not going to do a whole lot for you. But if he's starting and getting those minutes, 25 minutes at this price, you definitely have to have a little bit of interest, of course, obviously, against Washington is a great matchup. That's why this is such a significant spot, because if you're giving guys extra minutes, extra usage versus Washington, it's definitely very important against a pace-up team that plays terrible defense. I also think that if those guys are out, we could see Derrick Rose possibly play a few more minutes. Obviously, his price is up. He's been playing phenomenally, but they're just going to need his scoring off the bench, if those guys are out. So definitely like him and think he'd have to play a lot of minutes if those guys are out. So also, we have Eric Bledsoe out for Milwaukee, which should, we saw DiVincenzo start, I believe, on Saturday. Saturday. When Bledsoe was out, and Bledsoe's going to remain out here. So, not really too interested in DiVincenzo. He's going to project around 5x at that. He only played 25 minutes. He did put up a decent amount of shots, but got a few assists, a few extra rebounds, but it's not really someone that I'm too interested in. I'd rather just probably play Giannis, who should end up being very, very chalky in this slate. 11.1K with no Bledsoe. He is I have it in my notes here. Give me a second. 1.93 fantasy point per minute. Giannis is with no Bledsoe on the floor, so that's a pretty significant boost. He is about a 1.75 usually this season. Obviously, we've seen Giannis shoot better from 3 this year. That adds to his upside. We see him get an 8% assist rate bump with no Bledsoe as well. He's going to be on ball a little bit more. He's going to do a ton of scoring in this game. Not a great pace-up matchup or anything like that. Of course, the Bucks play pretty fast, and Dallas should actually play a little bit slower with no Doncic, but love Giannis. Middleton's going to see a small usage bump as well. He's not out of the realm of possibilities here to play. I think both those guys see significant bumps. Bledsoe sees a smaller usage bump, but still definitely going to be in play. And then, mentioned DiVincenzo, but not a ton of interest there. Ilyasova also gets a bump, but it's tough for him to find minutes. And then you got George Hill at 4.3K. He's pretty much just splitting those minutes with DiVincenzo, and I don't think he's a great play at this price. So pretty much it's going to be Giannis and Middleton that I'm really trying to get to, and might get a sprinkle in some of the other guys as well. I don't hate them. And then for Dallas, Doncic being out obviously is going to open up significant minutes for other guys. When we saw, let me see if I can pull it up on Popcorn Machine real quick, this most recent Dallas game. Should have had this ready for you guys. But so, we see Doncic get hurt really early. DeLon Wright comes in, but then some reason doesn't play the rest of the game. He didn't get hurt or anything. He just played that one stint and then didn't play again. So, not sure what's going on with that. He's been a little banged up, but I didn't hear anything about him being banged up in that game. So, I don't really know what's going on with that. Could be a lot of different things going on there. But I think the biggest benefactor is probably just going to be Jalen Brunson, who closed the game, who played in overtime, who has point guard experience. He plays on ball a decent amount already. So I think that he'll be the one who benefits the most. Obviously, he's the one who also gets a massive price hike on DraftKings after 34 minutes in that game, including, of course, overtime. So he'd have been at 29 without the overtime. But, I still think that he's a pretty solid play here, trying to sort through over a 1 fantasy point per minute producer with no Doncic on the floor. He started the second half, should start again here, I'd expect. He's projecting quite well as a 1 fantasy point per minute producer if he's going to play 30 minutes here. Paced up game against Milwaukee. If this game stays close, even if it doesn't stay close, I think Brunson's probably gonna have to play a decent amount. Obviously Porzingis gets a price up as well. DraftKings on their shit here with Doncic out. Same thing with PrizePicks. PrizePicks did not take it lightly on Porzingis' projection. However, he still jumps to a 1.47 fantasy point per minute producer with a 37% usage rate with no Doncic. That's only in 90 minutes without him, but that's pretty significant. A 1.47 number at just 7.8K, again in a pace-up spot. It's not the best rebounding matchup, but Porzingis also going to match up pretty well with Brook Lopez. Porzingis going to feel comfortable coming away from the basket to defend Brook Lopez, and I think he should be good here for a lot of minutes. They're going to need his scoring with no Doncic on the floor. We saw him play 40 minutes. This is the time for Porzingis where, with Doncic, he's not necessarily needed on the floor all the time because, they just don't always need him on the floor. That Doncic can dominate the usage, and they can just have guys who can rebound down low. Not that Porzingis can't, of course. He's a great rebounder with his size, but with the usage that he's going to see and the minutes that he's going to see with no Doncic, probably 36 minimum, I would say. Really like Porzingis in this game. I'm going to be getting plenty of Porzingis here. And he's going to project quite well. Then outside of that, the ancillary pieces are, guys I'll get into a little bit, but none I think that are really smashed for cash games. Like I said, DeLon Wright played 9 minutes, but then doesn't show up again. So not really someone that you can trust. The guard rotation is really tough to pin down right now. Assuming that Brunson starts, you have Seth Curry behind him, you have DeLon Wright behind him, you have JJ Barea, who has been a coach's decision DNP. So it's really tough to pin down those minutes behind Brunson, assuming that Brunson starts. The only guy that really has safe minutes here is like Dwight Powell. Tim Hardaway Jr. has safe minutes. Dorian Finney-Smith has safe minutes. Finney-Smith actually played a significant amount of minutes last game with no Doncic. I don't feel that bad about Finney-Smith, but he's just not someone who's going to really put up shots. As you can see, 37 minutes puts up 3 shots in that game. So it's not really a tournament play. Maybe you can get there in cash in a pace-up game, but none of these guys are really popping to me. It's pretty much just going to be Brunson and Porzingis for the most part. Maybe a little bit of Hardaway, maybe a little bit of Powell, possibly a little bit of Kleba at this price. Don't mind that. And even Curry at 4K. Not sure about his minutes and not really someone I can get to. So that breaks down that game for you guys. And Toronto-Cleveland. So Toronto actually has one of the highest team totals in the slate, despite this game total not being super high. They are at 114.75 team total as of recording this, so pretty significant. Fred VanVleet is doubtful, not going to play in this game, most likely. So lots of guys that we can play. Siakam, Lowry, Anunoby, Powell, all playing really significant minutes on a regular basis, especially with Fred VanVleet now out. So Siakam, Lowry pretty much consistently getting to 38 minutes. I think both those guys are fine for cash. They are fine for GPP. I don't see this is a really, really great rebounding matchup for Siakam, and he's someone that I'm going to want to get to for sure, especially if he comes in low owned. There's not a lot of other studs on this slate other than Giannis that you are wanting to get to. So he's going to be someone that I think will get a decent amount of ownership because he plays so many minutes, and this 8.6K price tag is really just fine with me in this matchup with no Fred VanVleet. I like him a decent amount, 1.21 fantasy point per minute, small bump with no Fred VanVleet. So, and Anunoby also gets a really nice rebounding matchup at just 4.9K. He's projecting well. He's projecting for a good amount of ownership. With the minutes that he's getting, he didn't close last game. I'm not too concerned about that. I'm actually not really sure what happened. They closed with Patrick McCaw, who just didn't really play very well. I don't really know where that came from, but I expect Anunoby to usually close, and he's a solid play. I'm trying to think who they played in that game. Brooklyn, so a smaller team. Maybe that had something to do with it. But Anunoby would match up well with Prince. I don't know. I'm not sure what happened there with Anunoby. No foul trouble or anything, but he's a solid play. I think Norman Powell, he's projecting chalky right now, but I'm interested. He's fine. He's a fine play in cash, but I'm not really someone that I'm inclined to get to. He's not a very solid fantasy point per minute producer. He is seeing a slight, a solidification of his minutes with no Fred VanVleet in the lineup, so he's going to see 32 minutes pretty much on a consistent basis here. Possibly up to 35, but I just, he's not going to project that great at 5.5K as a 0.7 or so fantasy point per minute producer. Even with Fred VanVleet off the floor, he's like 0.75. So it's just not something that's super interesting to me, but still someone that I think is a solid play. He is going to project for 5X. It's just a matter of really getting upside out of him that I'm not sure is there. Another game that I really like to target on this slate is Portland and Phoenix. It is the third highest game total on the slate. Both teams are about top 10 in pace. They're solid defensively, which should mean a very competitive game that allows the starters to play significant minutes, 36 or so. So Devin Booker, questionable to play, which is definitely going to change how I would attack this game if he is ruled out. Obviously, Mikal Bridges is just too cheap for me down here. He's not someone that's going to see significant usage. On Saturday we saw him play 32 minutes, but only shoots 3 times, gets 4 free throws. But did it really through peripherals, gets there through peripherals. I like him a decent amount if he starts. I would expect him to shoot the ball a little bit more as well with Booker out. Rubio and Oubre are also going to be more in play with him out, but if Booker is in, you just can't play them at these prices, even with Rubio playing so well. But if they're both out, I think both project fine at these prices. And then going over to the Portland side, which projects much, much better than Phoenix does. They actually have a little bit of a pace up here. Phoenix is 8th in pace. They've been climbing up. That might drop a little bit with Booker, but not too much. CJ McCollum, probably my favorite play for this team and should be the chalkiest option on this team as well. He's come down over these last 2 games with 2 tough games. Obviously, this one's a blowout. Plays 31 minutes. This one against Denver, pretty much one of the toughest matchups that you can get in the league. Doesn't grab pretty much any peripherals in this game. No steals, no blocks, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Just a little bit under season average. Only scores 15 points. It's just not something that McCollum is going to usually do. So 6.5K, you're getting, I think someone that's pretty safe consistently for 30, 31 points, fantasy points. And it has upside for 45, in a game where he shoots lights out. And of course, this is a game that, Phoenix not great at defending the 3-point, at defending the 3-pointers. And so I definitely don't mind. I definitely like McCollum a lot here, especially with Rodney Hood out. That really solidifies. So it does a few things with Rodney Hood out. It solidifies his minutes at the 2, but it also, because Bazemore has to play minutes, in other positions, it will give McCollum some backup point guard minutes, more backup point guard minutes than he will usually play. So we'll see his minutes staggered with Lillard, especially sometimes in the second half. They will stagger those minutes to give McCollum some run at the 1. And that is why I really like him at this 6.5K price tag. That's actually the main reason I like him at this price. Lillard also 8.4K, not a bad price at all. Like the same thing with McCollum. I think you can usually give him 40 minutes, so he's not going to bust, or 40 points, so he's not going to bust you there. But he also, of course, he's Damian Lillard and can shoot lights out from 3 on a nightly basis. He's going to usually shoot 10 3-pointers a night. And if he's hitting, 6 of those, he's going to crush value here, especially if he's still getting those assists, averaging 7.5 assists per game. If he's doing that for you, hitting those threes, he is going to crush his value. We've seen him be priced up above 10K this year. So, like him, I'll be getting a decent amount of him. And, of course, Whiteside as well. He's playing solid minutes. Like him, ranking the guys, he's around 1.2 fantasy point per minute, and he has great upside and an awesome floor. He's probably the most improved player in the league to this point, playing fantastic in Portland so far. Ranking these guys, I'd go McCollum, Lillard, then Whiteside, with the ancillary pieces being probably Bazemore for me, then Carmelo, then Anthony Simons, who's also getting more minutes thanks to no Rodney Hood. He still remains out for Portland. And then lastly, we'll talk about 2 more spots. I know I've been talking for a while. This video is kind of beginning drawn out. I have a lot of spots I wanted to talk about on this slate, but I have a decent amount of interest in DeJounte Murray if he draws another start today like he did on Saturday. So he moved into the starting lineup. He played 31 minutes. That was in a overtime game, so really 26 minutes, which isn't like great for him. But that said, the most notable thing about Murray is that, yes, this is a pace-up game for San Antonio. However, really what this does, if Murray continues to start, is push me off of pretty much all of the rest of the San Antonio lineup. These prices aren't bad on them. Like LaMarcus is projecting for a little bit under 5X, DeRozan a little bit under 5X. But Murray just takes away so many of their peripherals, defensive stats, rebounds, assists, scoring, of course. Takes away all of that, a decent amount from them, more than like a Derek White would. So, he's the Spurs' best fantasy point per minute producer when he's on the floor this year. Takes significant chunks out of those peripherals from other guys. So really, with Murray in the lineup, it gets me off of LaMarcus Aldridge and DeRozan for the most part. But it also, I do have a decent amount of interest in Murray, who in a pace of game should grab more of those peripherals and also do a decent amount of scoring. I think he's safe for pretty much 28 minutes right now. If he is starting, obviously you got to see if he's starting, but I think, if we saw that happen last game, I'm assuming that they're going to keep him in that starting lineup. He played pretty well. Don't see any reason why they would change that from here. So, like DeJounte Murray, but no one else for the Spurs really going to pop out for me when he's in the lineup. Last spot I will talk about is Bam Adebayo, who, like I said in the price picks, I really, really like today. I'm guessing that he is here because I'm not seeing Miami. So, Bam, the thing about Bam is that he is just playing such significant minutes right now. 38, 35. This is an overtime game, so he plays 39, plays 36, 37, 38. The minutes have been awesome for him, and the price hasn't, it's come up. It's certainly come up, 7.4, 7.3, 7.2. But still at 8.2, I think that if he continues to see these minutes, this is still a little bit too cheap for him. Memphis, obviously, a pretty pace-up team, one that I'm not really too scared of defending the paint. Bam should play, again, big minutes, and with no Dragic Winslow, also see a pretty good amount of usage. I mean, he's going to be a guy that they're going to need to do scoring and also grab some peripherals. Nunn is also projecting well for that same reason. No Dragic Winslow, going to give him big minutes. So he's over fantasy point per minute. Bam's over fantasy point per minute. Both those guys I really like for the Heat in a pace-up game against Memphis. Their team total is only around 111, but still one that I'm going to want to target. So that will wrap it up for this preview video for Monday, December 16th. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Don't forget to comment and subscribe, like this video. Really appreciate you guys coming back here. Get these videos in your inbox. Enter that giveaway for that free season pass. Check us out check out PrizePicks. Use code LOCKS to deposit. That helps us out. And I think that you guys will have a good time playing over there. It's fun to pick on those lines, especially when you have like more than one in a game. It's fun to watch. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and we'll see you guys back here next time. Peace.